President Obama started it.
My belief that an orderly transition must be meaningful, it must be peaceful, and it must begin now.
And then faithfully, one after the other governments followed suit.
This democratic change has to start now.
It needs to happen now.
To greater freedom and democracy in Egypt.
And it seems the theme was contagious as the call for a new Egypt spread uncontrolled across the Western mass media.
There were 250,000 people in the streets of Cairo protesting for democracy. This is how democracy happens.
But what right do US and European leaders have to get involved in what's essentially domestic unrest about dissatisfaction with a ruler? Who cares what they want in Egypt? Certainly not these demonstrators at the Egyptian embassy in London.
They supported the Egyptian regime for such a long time, and in fact they armed the Egyptian regime, and now they are talking about democracy and respect of human rights.
I've listened to Obama's speech and his bum must hurt because he's sitting on the fence so much. It must hurt up there. I mean, he's neither saying go now Mubarak, he's just saying there has to be a peaceful transition. Where is this peaceful transition?
There are shades of past conflicts in the world's attitude to the situation in Egypt, according to William Spring, who campaigns against NATO aggression.
Egypt is a sovereign state, but what they've always done, the West, they've used this humanitarian argument. They've said, oh, we can intervene in Yugoslavia, we can intervene in Belarus, we can put sanctions. For example, this week they put sanctions on Belarus on grounds that the elections were in some way invalid or there were some irregularities. Well, there are sufficient irregularities in the British elections without the European Union putting sanctions on Belarus.
It's a complete turnaround for the Western world, which has always supported Hosni Mubarak as a force for stability in the region. The US gave him $1.5 billion a year for his armed forces alone. It was Western support that kept Mubarak in power, betraying an inherent misunderstanding of the way Egyptian society operates, according to Chatham House.
The way regimes like Mubarak survive is by making themselves useful to the West. So they have to convince the world that if they leave, it'll be the Muslim Brotherhood and you'll have the Taliban in Egypt, and it's the worst case scenario. So the minute you can see beyond them, they've already fallen.
All of which suggests that Western countries should stand back and let the Egyptian people exercise their sovereignty.
The President of the United States would call on us to move immediately and instantly to make changes as if we are the 51st state of the United States. We are not.
Trying to play a role in Egypt's future is a dangerous game for Western leaders. Hosni Mubarak enjoyed strong support from America and co for many years, but now at the first sign of trouble, their support is conspicuous in its absence. It sends a message to friends and foes alike in the region: when the going gets tough, don't count on us. A message that's likely to further destabilise an already deeply unstable part of the world. Laura Emmett, RT, London.